Right. And we're live.
Cool. What's up, guys? Shawn Bowen, Full Circle Investment Group, wholesalingoutofthebox.com. I think we're going to call these the lunchtime lives. And what we're going to do is today I wanted to chit chat with you guys a little bit outside of the deep dive of what we normally talk about when I get on these things. We get in here and we talk about, acquisitions, dispositions, systems and processes, and, what you need to do to get there and how to do it. The other thing that I feel like doesn't get talked about that much is when we're talking about where your headspace is and what you're thinking, right? So what you're thinking is actually where you're going, right? So let's talk about that for a second. What is it like when you got negative thoughts in your head? And I used to think like this, where it's like, I used to think this was some really hippie type thing where you were talking about good energy and bad energy, right? And now I actually see what that is. So it's almost like talking things into fruition, right? What you think is what you are and what you do. And that's a big thing when you're in this business, right? You get going in it, you're all pumped up, you're ready to go. And then a week goes by, 2 weeks go by. You haven't given yourself goals or you haven't done what you wanted to do. And then it turns into like a start to fade out type thing. And what do you do to reset yourself? Hopefully these will help you guys coming in and listening, interacting. By the way, guys, we'll have Ashley jump on here and drop these things, but you can go live and ask questions during these too. These are no specific set things where we have to talk, about only the things I'm talking about. If you guys have some questions, please write them in the comment section or go live with us and let's help you. Okay. But while we're doing that or waiting for some questions, again, the idea is mindset. Where are you at? Where's your head at? Where are you trying to go? What are you doing? What are you doing with the time that you have right now? Or what have you done with the time that you've had over this past 2 months, getting into the third month of this COVID and having to stay here in this world of remote, right? What are you doing to get your headspace right and your thinking right so that it allows you to move in a direction that's actually positive for you? Again, guys, I'm not trying to be this like deep dive, methodical person talking like that, but it does help. I've called it or been called it the thought auditing process and realize that the people do it and it works, right? So where are your thoughts at? What are you thinking about what you're trying to do in order to get where you're trying to go? That actually helps a lot, right? And I've realized it and been getting better at it. So kind of a thought auditing process here is talking with you guys and helping you with things that you need help with and what questions do you have that we can help you with. But more so, what are you doing to keep your thoughts straight and going towards the direction of doing that first deal? What do you think about it? Are you around people that tell you that, real estate's bullshit and you can't do it and it's not real? Wholesaling's not real. It's a scam, all that kind of stuff. I hear a lot of people talk about that. And then I get people reaching out to me individually, right? They'll Facebook message me or reach out to me on email. Hey, Shawn, I really want to get into this wholesaling thing. I just don't know where to get started. And I always tell them, what do you want to do? Give me an idea of what you want to do so that I know how to help you, right? And that's what I ask everybody. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? Like everybody says, oh, I want to make $100,000. Awesome. What does that look like? How do you reverse engineer into that number, right? So people say, I want to make $100,000, and then you dial that down to what it is monthly, and you dial that down into weekly, and you dial that down to daily, and then you dial it into hourly, right? That's what allows you to have a direction, and that's where you're trying to go and understand where you're going, right? Instead of just taking a dart and throwing it and be like, cool, I hope it sticks to somewhere on the wall over there. That's what this is for, right? It's getting your thoughts in the right direction to where you have something to aim at and actually hit. So guys, feel free, come on here, ask questions, give me some comments. What do you feel as though is going on with what you're doing? Are you engaging your daily? Are you engaging your weekly? Do you have goals that you're trying to small increments to get to a bigger one that are on a weekly set? Our company does a weekly tracking, right? We all talk about what goals we're setting and what we're doing. It's not just me talking about it, it's the company doing it, right? And then it allows us to see a big target that condenses down to the middle of the target and actually hit it, right? Knowing your numbers, knowing what's going on with certain deals, all that kind of stuff matters. So where are you at with your thoughts every day and every week that allow you to say, yeah, it's real? Are you watching people do this business and not take any action on that, because that can be a massive effect, right? Like, it's just over complicating things and thinking like, oh, I can't do it until I have this ready, right? Like, none of it's ever going to be perfect. None of it's ever going to be exact, right? And if that's what's holding you back, stop that now, and stop that from being an issue to where it's allowing you to grow. Don't let it be an issue, right? Don't worry about if it's perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's what is that? Fire ready, aim, or aim ready. Like, who cares? Just go forward with a little bit of information, screw it up, and then make it better, right? That's what this is all about, as far as trying, getting your thoughts right, getting your head right, believing that this is real, knowing that it's real. This is multiple people doing this business that can show you it's real. So like the guy's talking about checks. That's great. We don't do checks, we do wires, right? That was a time management thing. That was our time is worth more than having to go pick up a check, deposit it, do all that. We'd rather do the wire. We'd rather have the wire fee, and then the money's in the account and ready to go. That was mobile, allows you to be mobile, right? So what are your thoughts that you're thinking about? What are the things that drive you in this business that are keeping you accountable, right? What are your thoughts that you're talking about or thinking about or doing every single day that allow you to be very focused on exactly what's going on at the moment, right? So today, for an example, we're talking about going through our text messaging services, right? And what are we doing with that? How does that look? What numbers do we need? And how does that keep us on track, right? We've been talking about it for a while, and we said we wanted to do it. And then we finally said, you know what? I'm tired of asking. I'm tired of looking to work with other people on doing it. We're just going to do it, right? And we're going to screw it up, and we're going to figure it out, and then we will have a number, right? We're very good at tracking KPIs. Let me go over here and see what kind of notes we have. Do you have any contracts available I can use? Awesome question. I get that a lot too. So I can't see who the user is that has a question, but try to answer it. So contracts are great, but do you know how to fill them out? Do you know what you are getting? And we don't give out contracts for a legal standpoint, right? We don't want to be liable for that. I would recommend an attorney first, right? Go to an attorney. If you're local here in Hampton Roads, then let's get you to a few different attorneys. There's 2, 3, 4 attorneys I can tell you that'll share that paperwork with you and explain to you how to fill it out, right? And know exactly what the terms are in it. So to answer your question, are you local to Hampton Roads will be my first one. And then if you are, let's get you those attorneys that can help you, right? And actually I'll give you some verbals. That way anybody watching the replay or now live can use it. Jenny Colon is out in Chesapeake. She does a great attorney, great paperwork. LT Kaplan Law Group is another one that we've used in the past and still does great business and helps a lot. Coleman and Coleman, they're a good company to work with as well. So I would reach out to these individuals or these companies and ask them to help you. And then ask them, how do you fill out the contract? Or do you know what the details are that get filled out? Where, how, when, why are these being used? Remember, this is a legal business that you're in, right? And it's a lot of information. I don't know too many people that are teaching it. And if they are, that's fine. It's just not what we do. So we're not teaching contracts because it's something that I think an attorney should take care of, right? We've also had our contract tweaked multiple times since we've had it. So no, we don't just give contracts out because it's a lot to go with it, right? So hopefully that helps, and you can get a hold of those attorneys. And if you need more information, I guess just reach out to us individual, but hopefully that helps. That's a good question. Now, I get that a lot. Do you have any contracts available? So back to the thought auditing process. What are you doing to get your thoughts right and working towards the direction of getting your first deal? And I think that goes back to goal setting, right? Everybody's talking about, I'm going to write my goals down today, and this is what I'm going to do. That's great. But are you actually doing it? And if you're not, what's holding you accountable to keep you doing those goals every week? When the negativity starts setting in your head, things don't go the right way, you start getting frustrated, or you're not learning how to get your time where it needs to be with family and business and personal as well, right? This is a big thing, guys. Like, having all this right in your head is not easy. There is no playbook to this, right? So like hopefully coming here and asking questions and learning things here and other channels and other places helps you do that, right? Multiple times I hear a lot of guys say, I want to get in this business. I just don't know where to start. And I always ask them where they want to go. And usually the answer is like either $100,000 or I don't know where to start. And it's not that you don't know where to start. You are just not actually taking the step to start, like go, right? So the first part I would think is just getting your systems and processes set up. What's it going to look like with all this time you're going to spend? All right. What does it look like where you're going out, gathering information? Do you have a notebook that you're just putting everything in? We're in a day and age where there's a lot of things available online. Google Drive, CRMs, voice calling systems, right? Guys, you can do this business with pen and pad. And I started that way, but it gets very disorganized. It gets very jumbled up, and it doesn't allow you to stay focused, right? And that's where your thoughts start going away. You start thinking negative because you're not getting traction because you have no set target to hit, right? So really focusing on what are you doing to set a goal, stick with it, and then what holds you accountable, right? Like, are you holding yourself accountable to where maybe you're watching TV instead of listening to a podcast or something to do with this business that you say you want to make $100,000 in? Or are you just lying to yourself, right? It sounds good. Like, oh, I want to make 100 grand, but I don't want to commit the time it takes to listen to these podcasts or read these books or listen to these YouTube videos. Like, that's the kind of stuff that really separates the true entrepreneurs or the true go-getter investor, whatever you want to call it, versus the wannabes, right? It's not easy. It's not easy to stay focused. So what do you do to regroup yourself, right? What do you do to recheck yourself when it's time to end of the week? And guys come in and they're like, man, it's Friday and I'm super pumped. You know, the weekend's here. Why? Why is the weekend so important? I don't understand that, but that's just because it's my thinking process. I just don't care about the weekend. They're fun. I want to spend time with family, but you know, if business needs to be done, it needs to be done. And then you can start to balance that. Guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, work-life balance, it ain't real. Like, it's not as easy as everybody says it is. So it takes time to work on all that. And there is no playbook to this stuff. You know, everybody's family is different. Life, kids, doing your own personal time, family time, all that stuff matters, but you have to figure out how to balance that. And it's a very hard business to do, right? So one thing that you'll always hear here, guys, is we're never here to fluff you on anything, right? There's a lot of guys, maybe that's a downside for me because people are like, oh, you know, you're talking about it's not all easy and it's not all that. But when you get down to it, it really is easy. You're overcomplicating a lot of things that don't need to be. It's as simple as picking up a phone and calling somebody, having a real conversation, and then helping them out. Like, how do you help them get to their end goal, which is sell the home? It's not always about the money, right? So, and that goes back to the thought auditing process too, is like, when you get off of one call and it was a negative call, do you get to another call and take that negative conversation over into the next phone call? Because if that's the case, you're going to be in a long run of this already marathon, right? So helping yourself really keep your thoughts straight and keep your brain up to date with what's going on and like staying focused every single week and things to hit to be able to get to that goal. So any other questions, guys? I'm going to try to keep this thing going till about 1 o'clock. I'm trying to keep it about 30 minutes long if we can. Might go a little bit over, try to keep 30 minutes for you guys. But anybody here watching or have any questions, I know you guys will have some replays here where hopefully you guys are watching this and writing comments for us. But the goal of these is to go in live for lunch or lunch live sessions or whatever. I'm trying to figure out what to call them for you guys. So we can get some interaction with you guys and answer some questions for you. Also, remember, guys, we always do our live Sunday call, and that's from 5 to 6 p.m. We get in there and we talk everything real estate. This past weekend was really good. We had 13 people that jumped in there and had a lot of questions and a lot of good answers, right? If you're ever interested in anything specific, guys, you can always visit us at wholesalingoutofthebox.com. There's things over there that you can grab from us that maybe help you in your business. So if you're interested in looking at those, take a look and see if you can get what you need from that site. So guys, again, here live, just talking about thought auditing. What are you doing to, audit your thoughts of where you're going, what you're doing weekly, right? To get to your ultimate goal, which is a weekly goal, to a monthly goal, to a quarterly and biannual and annual, right? Everybody says I want to make a certain amount of money. How do you get there? And reverse engineer that number instead of just grabbing some mud and slinging it on the wall and hoping it sticks. What advice would you give new wholesalers? I would say my advice is, how do you want to get started and what exactly do you want to do? Being wholesaling there's a bunch of different avenues, right? Subject to the existing mortgage, going after just land, going after rehabs. What do you want to do? What kind of avenue do you want to go down? I guess would be my question for you. Would love to be able to try to answer that for you if you can help me there and tell me what advice would you give for new wholesalers. I would love to deep dive that a little bit more. While that person's writing, guys, again, this whole conversation today was just thought auditing. Where are you at in your process of your where's your headspace, right? If it's negative, you're not going to be very successful in this business. It's not. You've got to stay positive. You've got to, get up every morning, get ready to get punched in the face, and maybe some days you don't, and some days you do, right? Just knowing that's part of the game. Be ready for it, and move on to the next one, right? The next day, and next deal, and next issue, and next problem or issue to solve is what matters. For the person that wrote, what advice would you give new wholesalers? Did you have any deeper question, like what exactly do you want to do as a wholesaler? Give me an avenue you want to go down. What do you want to do? Land? Do you want to do just fix and flips? Do you want to do subject to the mortgage or finance? What specifically do you feel like the niche is that you would like to go after? Do you have any sales experience? Do you talk to people on the phone? Are you comfortable talking with people on the phone? What does that look like? All right. All right. So yeah, guys, just taking the time to jump in here, talk with you guys, and try to have the lunchtime live session. Love those. I love these ticker things. What else can I help you guys with? Again, trying to go live on here, trying to interact with you guys, keep these things up so you can have them for later to watch. And again, we're working towards having some more people come on here and talk about what they do in the industry and how they see things going for them, local and away. Just to try to get some more interaction with you guys and see how things go. Let's see if we got anything else over there. Ashley, we got anybody else over there that specifically has anything? Boom, boom, boom. So yeah, guys, if you're coming on live and you're just checking us out, any questions you have, come on here and write them. There's a link there that allows you to jump on and ask questions. If you want to go live, we can take it live and answer some real-time questions for you. We'll be on here for about 10 more minutes and help you guys out with anybody that's coming on and watching. So are you new in the business? Are you experienced in the business? What are you looking that you need help with, right? What is it that you feel as though are some hurdles you can't seem to get over or some issues you can't get past? What are some of those things that we could possibly help you with and talk about? Would love to talk more about it. If I can help you guys.
While we're waiting on you guys, Shawn, why don't you go back to that idea of work-life balance and how hard that's been, especially with everything that's been going on?
Yeah.
I know you and I have both had that problem.
Yeah. So work-life balance is a tough one, guys. Between the COVID and being home and having your normal schedule, right? What does your normal schedule look like to where you have a daily for us, our company is virtual. So we all work from our desk at home, or we're mobile on our phones and on our laptops. So what does it look like to where you need to turn off at a certain time, right? So example for me was like Mondays is like gym time. You're done at 5:30. You got to be at the gym at 6:30. Downtime in between to get to the gym and be able to have that like disconnect time, right? And then it doesn't happen. You don't have it. You don't have this thing you have to go do. So with me, I know that I can just keep working, right? And that's the workaholic mentality. And I get it. It's a real thing. So it's like you just keep going, right? And it's like, oh, it's 5:30. I'll go to like 6:30, and the next thing you know, it's 7 o'clock, and you're still making phone calls, and you're still trying like churning through it. Next thing you know, it's 7 o'clock, and you're still rocking out. And you started at 7, 8 o'clock. So it's like a long day, but it's that balance of being able to turn it off, disconnect, and then keep going. Then turn it back on the following day, right? So yeah, it's been hard. It's a hard thing, right? But learning how to do that from an office setting versus a home setting. For us, it's always been a virtual company, and I've had to learn how to do it. But yeah, it was a kick, right? It was a kick me off of the track type thing, and getting back on and holding to a certain time frame. That has been, again, thought auditing, right? Like going through the thoughts of what I was saying, what I was doing versus my actions caused me to have to get back on track. Be like, okay, cool. Today I'm shutting down at 5:30. I've got a workout I got to do. I've got to take the dogs for a walk and hang out with the wife. All this kind of stuff that it's real, right? And that's really something that's big that you have to pay attention to, guys. And that goes back to the whole thought auditing process. Is what are you thinking so that you can keep yourself in shape, right? In shape, and that's your brain shape, as well as your muscles got to stay strong in your brain as well as your body, and be able to be cognizant of that, because it's a slippery slope. You know what I mean? Like next thing you know, it's 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and like maybe you're going past it and still working. And to a reason, like you're getting things done, but it's hard. And you've got to get yourself back on the work-life balance, or try to get that. It's very hard to do, right? Entrepreneurs, or being in an entrepreneur position, your own business owner, right? Most people start this, it's on their own. Unfortunately, I've been able to grow a team, and everybody has their, we call it the lanes, like stay in your lane. But everybody has their own piece that they do, and they do really well at it, which allows me as the business owner to do what I'm good at, right? And that's create things and help people and do that side of the house. So work-life balance is a big thing. And
well, and one thing we talk about too is, like, one of my very first days, you told me there are no emergencies in real estate.
Right.
At least for wholesaling. We're not landlords where the pipe is burst. But for us, there are no emergencies. And some days, you might sign off early, and I'm like, I need you to sign this contract. And you're like, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow morning. And I have to remember, okay, it's really not that big of a deal. Right. I'm getting a lot better about shutting down my brain and not thinking about it until the next day. And then, but you better believe first thing the next morning, I'm like, hey, sign the contract.
Yeah, it's not easy. So being an assistant, working side by side, having a partner, having acquisitions, dispositions, all that kind of stuff is part of this business. And it's making, and again, I'll keep using the word thought auditing because it's real. You've got to like reset yourself. You've got to like be ready for the next day. But your brain has to have that relaxed time too. You have to have the down disconnect. You've got to like relax yourself and then start back over, right? You will fatigue. It's like anything, right? Your brain will fatigue, and then ultimately your business will fatigue. And if that's the case, like you're not going to progress, you're not going to grow, you're not going to do what you need to because you didn't reset yourself every single day, right? And that's real talk, guys. Like that is no bullshit. You have to, in this business, be prepared to shut it down and then start back up the next day and just be ready to go all over again, right? So, guys, we're right here, right at about almost a 30-minute mark. And I just want to say thanks for anybody that's watching the replay, the people that came in and, talked while we were here, asked some questions. Hopefully we gave you the answers you were looking for. But guys, remember, anytime you need us, we're always available. You can instant message me or message me over there in Facebook land. You can always find us at wholesalingoutofthebox.com if you need things or questions there. Also, join us again if you're watching this all the way through. Sign up for our Sunday calls. Guys, it's a free session that we set up for everybody. We go in there on Sundays. We get there from 5 to 6. I mean, this past Sunday, we went to 7 o'clock. Good conversation. I'll keep it going, right? But I do that because I wish somebody had done that for me when I had started and gave me real information, not telling me you got to charge me an arm and a leg for it, and actually take the information and do things with it. A lot of people have been successful in that group that come up, and use it like an accountability group every Sunday. So sign up over the events tab, put it on your calendar, throw out a flare, whatever reminds you, and then we get to see you over there. One more question in here. I want to mainly wholesale for sale by owners and absentee owners, then fix and flip after I gain enough capital. Awesome. Okay. So then the question would be is when you're going after for sale by owner, what is that? Going after that would be going to properties. Going to neighborhoods, driving for dollars, building that list, and then calling that list, and then working with the absentee owner list if you're doing that, which majority of the time I think those are landlords, but maybe they've got a problem they have to sell, right? So the absentee owner list, probably not that high on the motivation. The for sale by owner list, again, probably not that high, but you've got to see what it looks like for you. So I'd be really interested to see some data on it. Like what does it look like? How many leads do you go get for sale by owners? And then how many did you call? How many connected? How many said that they were willing to sell? And then how far off were the percentages of your offer versus what the number that makes sense, right? Versus what they wanted. So again, guys, hopefully that helps answer your question. Fix and flip is it's a fun game to get into, but I play more on the lending side of it now than I do on the actual rehab side of it. But yeah, that sounds like a good goal. At least you have something that you're going for, and that's good. Again, guys, thanks so much for taking the time to watch this. I look forward to seeing you guys on Sunday's calls and helping you. And anytime, we're going to try to do these on Tuesday and Thursday, trying to keep it around lunchtime for you. And hopefully come back and check us out. Otherwise, we're always here to help you guys. Again, if you're interested in anything you need from us, reach out. Talk to you soon. Later.